Hi, this is Becca Harris with Annabear Baby Bear. We'll go over Mei Tai basic instructions right now. First off, we've got the anatomy of the carrier. Basically, these types of carriers are just a rectangle or a square with two long upper straps and two short lower straps. The long upper straps on this one are padded and a little bit wider than some of the others. These are meant to be your shoulder straps. The lower straps come out straight from the bottom. This is to make apron tying a little bit easier. And for those that don't want to do an apron tie, you can put it on in a slightly different way without any discomfort. Our carrier has a curved upper headrest, which is very nice and handy for a sleeping baby. It's not too tight so that an older child isn't feeling constricted. The headrest can fold down and out of the way if you don't want it. One of the nice things about this type of carrier is that it is completely reversible. You have a pretty side on one side so that you have your nice print that you like. Let's say your print doesn't match what you're wearing for the day. You can turn it around and it is completely reversible to whatever your strap color is. And you can see that there's no reinforcing stitching showing through. All the reinforcing stitches are put on an interior hidden layer so that you have all the beauty on both sides. You don't have to worry about any of that. So basically these types of carriers come in three different sizes. There's the medium, the long, and the extra long. Medium size will fit just about anybody. I have some plus size friends that have no trouble fitting there. They just have a little bit less strap length left over when they're done. The different lengths of straps are really the only difference. The middle of the carrier, the square piece of fabric, the pretty piece, stays exactly the same. The only difference between a medium and a long is that a long is going to be longer. It'll have an extra foot for each upper strap and an extra 6 inches for the lower straps. So each size up with that really makes a big difference. So unless you're pregnant and plus size, or prefer to do some longer tying techniques that take a little bit of extra strap length, there's really not much reason for the extra long strap length. Anyway, so we'll get started with putting this on. To put it on with your pretty side out, you start off with the carrier and the pretty side facing you so that when you flip it up, it's on the outside. Now you want to find wherever your true waist is. For me that's very high because I am very short-waisted. The average person will have a lot more space here than I do. Not like it matters much though, because that part that's being tied on right here is going to be hidden when baby's next to you. So you get this on just like an apron, and you want to do a double knot here. You want to do a square knot if you can manage it. Get that nice and snug. If you put it on nice and tight, the weight will help transfer down to your hips, and your hips will be carrying most of the weight rather than your shoulders, which makes this much more comfortable. If you find that it's pulling on your shoulders, I would try tying the waist on just a little bit tighter and see how that feels to you. If your clothes start to ride up, it's much easier to fix them and make them nice and low on you at this point. Otherwise it's harder to pull them down and get them nice and tight where you want them to be once you have baby in there. So this carrier works all the way from birth up through an older child. Now I'm using my weighted demo dolls today. This one is weighted to be just like a newborn baby. He's got the floppy head, so you can tell that there's some head support with this. And he's got the floppy limbs and everything. One downside to this carrier is that you can only do upright carrying. You cannot have baby in a cradle position like this. You have to have baby upright. That makes it perfect for the reflux baby, or for parents that have any kind of back trouble, because the two-shouldered carriers will be a lot more comfortable for them. Now for the small baby, what you want to do is tummy to tummy, where baby's just resting on your chest and they've got their legs frog legs, just like they normally would when holding on the chest. They like to curl their legs up next to them. If baby's head starts to flop, just tuck your chin around baby's head and hold baby here on your chest, leaning back so baby's weight is on you. Then reach down and take your carrier and flip it up and around, and one strap at a time, put the straps over your shoulder. Now, this carrier was designed when my son was a little bit bigger, so some babies and some parents feel that this is a little bit too loose for the newborn baby, but we've got an easy fix for that. You want to just take your straps once you've got them over your shoulders and flip them over towards the carrier's body. When you do this, you can see that that pulls this in a little bit tighter. When it's out, it's a lot looser. So flipping these over will bring that in a lot closer to baby's head and make it a little bit more conducive to a small baby. This doesn't in any way hurt how it is adding comfort to the shoulders with the padding, because the padding is not twisting on the shoulders at all. All of the twisting is done down here on the body of the carrier where it's not putting the pressure point on anybody. So, still holding baby here. The easiest way that I found to pull the straps behind you is to follow your back and grab the strap. That way when you do this, you're not trapping your extra strap here. It's still hanging nice and loose. If you just reach around and try to find it and grab, you run the risk of trapping that extra strap there. So following your back makes it much easier. Doesn't really matter which strap you grab first, just whichever is easiest. So reach around, grab that strap. Now while you're pulling it towards your other side, you want to lift baby up on your chest and pull this tight at the same time. Then bring your strap around and switch which hand is holding baby. And do the same thing on the opposite side, where you snug and lift. And then once I have both straps, one in each hand, I like to cross low on my back and make sure that that's there. If baby is too low for you, you can bounce baby up at this point. But bring your straps back around to the front. And with a small baby that doesn't have very good tone yet, you want to tie behind their back. This is for two reasons. Baby will often slump inside the carrier if you tie underneath their butt. If you tie down here, baby could slump in there and shift down. And if they do so, these sides are nice and open because they're meant for an older baby's legs to come out. So a small baby slumping inside the carrier could slump off to the side and come out here. So just simply tying behind baby's back will help hold baby to your chest like you want, and will also help close off these sides so that there's no worry about that. And you can leave this up. Small baby usually doesn't need quite that much head support, so you can pull that down. And you can see that this is holding baby's head nice and snugly. Baby's very, very comfortable, just like if I was holding in arms, but I don't need my hands to do it. It's very, very comfortable. Now for breastfeeding, in this type of carrier, what you would want to do is untie to this point and hold on to baby, and you want to lower baby onto the side that you're nursing on so that baby's at the proper level for you. You may need to snug your opposite side, the side that baby's not feeding on. And the side that baby is feeding on, you want to make sure is loose enough. Now you would reach in from the center and fix your shirt from here and get baby latched on. Now pulling your shirt from the center will ensure that your side over here stays nice and covered, and it will keep you from being exposed any more than you want to be. So that's the basics with the newborn. To get baby down, just untie your straps, and as you drop the carrier, be sure you're holding on to baby. And that's just about that for the newborn carry.